Digimon Ghost Game Episode 20 made serious efforts to advance the plot of the new series by featuring two Digimon hunting the mysterious Black Tailmon, who seems to be vital to the plot of this new season. One of those hunters was SehBirdramon or SehBirdramon, depending on how you read the katakana, but essentially a Black Birdramon, making this the third dark form of an Adventure 1999 Digimon, Black Tailmon and Black Agumon having already appeared in this show. But what does it all mean? What was the plot development we learned about, and how was the episode? We're talking about all that and more right now. Welcome to the Digiknow. Digimon Con happened while I was recording this review, but in case you missed it, there should be some news coming out of that online 6-hour live stream and potentially some new merchandise. So if you're like me and you don't live in the US, you don't have access to Premium Bandai, but you're a Digimon fan looking to import cool Digimon merch, you should really put Buyee on your radar. They're the online shipping proxy service that lets you order things from major Japanese stores like Amazon JP and Rakuten. I've used them before when it comes to buying DIM cards for my Vital bracelet, and it was ridiculously easy and shockingly fast to get something from Japan to Canada. If you decide to sign up today and use my promo code in the description of this video, you're going to get a 2,000 yen coupon, which is roughly $20 US, to use on your first Buyee purchase. So if there was something at Digimon Con that you absolutely had to have, or really any other Japanese import you want, Buyee is the way to go. Thanks to Buyee for sponsoring this video review. In episode 20, we see Hiro and Ruri taking their Digimon to an amusement park to try and relax while things are quiet. Kiyoshiro and Jellymon stay behind at school where they're attacked by two super imposing Digimon, Dark Lizamon and Saberdramon, that Black Birdramon that I mentioned before. We actually saw them sort of in the opening to this episode where a man emerged from a burning building with black flames around him, stepped out of the black flames only to burn up into ashes to the horror of the civilians looking on. These two put Kiyoshiro in the same black flame prison that man was in, and Jellymon is forced to disclose Hiro's location since it's the only thing these two Digimon seem to want. I really like that Hiro has become something of a celebrity among the Digimon trapped in the human world, like the Hawkmon who heard about him from Clockmon, and now these two characters. It makes me think about a line at the end of this episode about there needing to be a bridge between human and digital worlds, but more on that later. The two Digimon arrive at the amusement park and attack. A nice detail here is that the spectators think this is maybe a special hologram show at the amusement park, like when Disney characters will randomly start acting out a scene at Disneyland. They identify Hiro and Gamamon and demand to know where Black Tailmon is, but Hiro simply doesn't have an answer, which makes sense obviously since we've never had a real communication or tabs on Black Tailmon. Dark Lizamon and SehBirdramon don't believe this though, and they start attacking, resulting in a Wezen Gamamon evolution appearing to fight them off. At the same time, Angoramon and Kiyoshiro simultaneously discover that if you leave the black flames, you burn up, like the character in the opening did. They're safe inside, but once they emerge, it's game over. So they are completely cut off from this fight, forced to watch what Hiro and Gamamon will do. Wezen gets rocked and reverts to the Gamamon form. Hiro picks him up and retreats, but notes that he may have twisted his ankle. Hiro, that is. Hiro asks why these two need to see Black Tailmon so desperately, and Dark Lizamon opens up saying, quote, "This world has no place for us. We were suddenly thrown into this world one day, but this world belongs to you humans." Hiro asks if they just want to go home to the digital world, and they say they do, but quote, "There's no other way. We're just monsters to humans." We then rewind to a new perspective of the beginning of the episode and learn that Dark Lizamon and SehBirdramon were protecting that human from the real flames in that house fire, attempting to instruct him on how to exit the building safely, but he only viewed them as monsters and disobeyed their request to stay inside the black flame, which did him in, unfortunately. Making matters worse, when the man burns into flames, bystanders see these two shadowy figures inside the flaming building and assume that these monsters are to blame for the tragedy. Of course, they were trying to save him, but humans just boo and call them monsters and scream at them. It's kind of depressing and really dark, and as weird as it sounds, I want more stuff like this from Digimon. It was really interesting to see a Digimon falsely accused for a crime it didn't commit. Super sad, but you can also understand why humans would be horrified by these things when they don't know what Digimon are. We switch back to the action where Chaos Gamamon now appears. That's the flying version of Gamamon, and it's great to see Gamamon switching back and forth between his evolutions in a way we haven't seen before. He takes a massive punch from Dark Lizamon, and just when we think it's going to be the end, we get this amazing instant evolution switch, kind of counterattack from Hiro and Gamamon. While being punched, Gamamon went from Chaos Gamamon to Battle Gamamon, then fires back this incredibly animated counterattack. This episode was really the first time they've played around with Gamamon switching evolutions during a single fight, and it was everything you'd hoped it would be. There was also the fact that every time Hiro's Vital Bracelet lit up, we were at the edge of our seat kind of sweating and hoping it would not be Gulis Gamamon's evolution showing up. It's like a gacha pull with what Gamamon evolution you're going to get each time. So I can't say enough good things about the action in this week's episode. With the battle decided, Hiro tries one last time to insist that he doesn't know where Black Tailmon is, and conveniently, Black Tailmon shows up here to open a portal into the digital world for them. them. Definitely convenient and kind of odd. It almost makes Hiro seem like a liar even though he wasn't. It's a happy ending for these two Digimon who were misunderstood. But this brings me to an element of the episode I was a little disappointed in. When I heard the premise that two Digimon were coming to Hiro because they were hunting Black Tailmon, I had hoped we'd learn more about Black Tailmon, potentially even Black Agumon, but it turns out they only want to find Black Tailmon because they know it's someone who can send them home. They don't know each other, they aren't part of a secret organization of dark Digimon, nothing like that, and it kind of bummed me out. So on one hand, we learned a bit more about the series story this week by reaffirming the importance of Black Tailmon, but we didn't learn why Black Tailmon is important, if that makes sense. Right at the end, Hiro remembers what Bokomon said about our team potentially being the bridge between the human and the digital world. Hiro's last words of the episode are that we really need for someone to be a bridge. It seems like Black Tailmon is fulfilling that bridge role for the Digimon, but there may need to be a human to take on that role. Someone who understands both Digimon and humans, kind of like what Tai wanted to be in the Digimon 02 epilogue, honestly. Based on the way other Digimon like Hawkmon and Clockmon, and now the two enemies from this week, come to Hiro for help, it seems like the show is building up to Hiro taking on this role as the bridge between Digimon and humans. Pretty cool concept. Imagine if in the end Hiro leaves behind his life in Japan to become like this world-hopping ambassador for both worlds. Though it kind of seems like his dad is already doing something like that. We don't know a lot about what his father has been up to. So that was episode 20. I enjoyed this one a lot, in particular the Gamamon Battle with the form switching. It was one of the coolest things this show has done so far in my opinion. Though I would have liked more information about the larger story, which is kind of something I say every week, so maybe at this point it's my fault for getting my expectations too high. Maybe the show truly wants to be episodic and not build towards anything. But then again, I mean, it showed Black Agumon, it keeps hinting at Black Tailmon, it has a story to tell, it just really wants to take its time. As always, let me know what you thought about the episode by leaving a comment below. On that note, I mentioned in a previous video that I was considering toning down the visuals of the reviews after we crossed episode 20. I think the next week video will look a little different. It will use fewer images and be more of an audio product with some images as opposed to a video review. It's still going to be on YouTube, obviously. You can still listen just while doing something else in another tab or walking around or stretching or whatever. I just find, to be honest, I'm running low on energy editing together a full video review every single week in this short amount of time. It's not like I can work on the video all week because the episode comes out Saturday night, my video goes live Sunday. I really only have this short window of time to work on it, but I still want to keep discussing the show every week. So my solution is to keep putting out videos but tone down the visuals. I think it'll be a lot better for me so I don't burn out, because otherwise the alternative is that I keep doing what I'm doing now, but in a couple of months I get completely burnt out and stop making videos altogether. I really don't want to stop making videos and talking Digimon with all of you, so I think the best solution is the one I've presented, the one I'm moving forward with. At the end of the day, the audio review is kind of the heart of the video anyways. You come here to hear what I want to say about the episode, and the visuals I always thought were just like a bonus. So hopefully you understand. Thank you for understanding. If you do, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.